All right, the first point that I really want to call you out on is so in 1514 of your video about the bricks and minifigures expose saying, hey, this is the problem of Mormon culture, the police officers asked, hey, how do you like it here in Utah? And you go on this rant for so long that that's just the weirdest question, that police don't ever ask that question, and that it's really just something that only the Mormons ask, because secretly they're asking, how do you like it here in Utah amongst the Mormons? And I have to tell you that you are being a moron, or you've never been out of state. So as a child, my family did a lot of road trips. I've also done a lot of road trips as an adult with my family. I've visited about 31 of the 50 different states. And even in when I've visited countries internationally, um, being stopped by police, whether or not I'm committing any crimes, but they're just, for some reason, they want to stop me and talk to me, is one of the second or third questions that they always ask is, how do you like it here? It was asked of me in Germany. It was asked of me in Bedford, England. Um, my brother-in-law, who had a Utah license, who was when he was pulled over in Arizona he was driving a family vacation. I was there. I heard it. The police officer asked, "How do you like it in Arizona?" He responded, "Well, it's my home. I'm just in going to college in Utah." Um, uh, in Florida, with a Texas license, they asked, "How do you like it in Florida?" A Texas license who was pulled over in Louisiana. This is my grandfather. The cops asked him, "How do you like it in Louisiana?" Indiana license plate in Texas. This was my wife. And they asked, "How do you like it in Texas?" Even though my wife's from Texas, but they didn't know that. Her ID said Indiana. Texas pulled over in Illinois. Same thing. Utah license pulled over in Idaho. Texas license pulled over in North Carolina. Texas license pulled over in South Dakota. Texas license pulled over in Colorado. Pretty much, if you have out of state ID, the police will always ask, "How do you like it here?" There's different reasons that people think that could happen, but it happens. And it is a very normal thing for people to have happen. Your response of, "Oh, that's so weird that cops don't do that," sounds very out of touch. It's like, because you've never experienced it, it must not exist, which is one of the biggest complaints one of my friends has about his boomer parents is, oh, because the financial situation you grew up in, or the finance economic world you grew up in, was so very different than the economic world I grew up in, that you are convinced that if I just stop buying Starbucks or stop paying for Netflix, that somehow that would magically make it so I could afford a house or rent. It's the same faulty logic and thinking of, hey, you didn't experience that way, so therefore other people must have never experienced it that way either, and therefore your experience is the only experience that must be the right one. That's what you sound like when you're talking about this. Um, but interesting fact, I was once pulled over in Wichita County, Texas, because I was a white guy driving through the wrong neighborhood, and I got pulled over. And then they saw the ID and they said, "Oh, look, you're from Harris County. How do you like it here in Wichita County?" Now, granted, Harris County and Wichita County are both inside the state of Texas. There is over 300 miles of separation. But I still got to ask that question inside the same state. So for you to say that, "Oh man, no one ever asks that," I'm like, I'm sorry, but it makes you sound a lot less intelligent than you portray yourself to be. And I am going to call you out on that, that is just moronic. That's not true. That is a standard question the cops ask all the time.